Well, I hope you guys are having a better day than I am. What started out as just replacing the inner hub seal, not the hub, the spindle seal on the truck. It was leaking gear oil from the inside of the spindle. Ordered a new seal, got here in a few days. Genuine Oshkosh part for like $8, so that's sweet. But when I opened it up, this planetary hat, I noticed this tie bar looks totally normal. Just it sits on these flats and keeps the axle from spinning. When I noticed this bar had this bend in it and it was lifted up, and I thought, all right, well, no big deal. I'll just flatten it down and keep going. They're symmetrical, so you could flip it this way. But what I noticed was this, that's not supposed to be there. And what has happened is, I guess I'm just going to call this the axle piece that sits in there, has just completely gone in there and gouged away. So I thought, all right, well, flatten it. The bigger concern is what got in there and caused that, because this is probably 1/4 inch, and that takes quite a bit of force to bend. I didn't find any chunks in here. Nothing that could have got up in there and done that. So I'm thinking, all right, we'll flatten the plate back down, flip it upside down, and we'll be good to go. So this is kind of the damaged section. And if you look at the pin, it's got some, this is what fits down this way. So this is spun for sure. This actually has some metal galling on it, which came from this hole. And so when you drop this down, not supposed to do that. This is, I'm calling this the good side. Even this looks ugly. It got some rust in there, but as you drop this in its hole, it rocks just a little bit, but once you drop it all the way down into the hole that's down there in the bottom, it's a super tight fit. So much tighter than this. And there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to go in here and weld and machine that down. So I'm still thinking, though, at this point, well, no big deal. If the gear has a little lash to it, that's fine. So I knock all the needle bearings out of the lower side. This is the upper side. And these needle bearings are completely frozen. And that might be what happened, is this gear was spinning, got hot, because this hub just had water in it when I picked the truck up. And it spun. And so it would have spun right in this section here. So the question is, no big deal. I can knock these needle bearings out, polish them, put them in a tumbler or something, grease them, get them to spin, reassemble it. I can bend this bar back, flip it around, and that's not a huge deal. But my question is, should I reuse this? Like I said, as it fits down in its hole, it gets pretty tight once it's down in its hole, but I think these are you can get a new hat for $200 or $300, so it's probably not worth fixing all this. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video, in case someone pulls theirs apart and has the same problem, we can kind of figure out if this is common or if this is kind of a rare thing. So kind of interesting way these are all assembled. These gears look terrible, but they've got an oiling hole in there that goes all the way, where's the light? Goes all the way through, so they get plenty of oil. They got 3 of them, 3 oiling holes. They got a couple shims. They got a spacer to keep the needle bearings from rolling around. There's 27 in the top, 27 in the bottom, in case anyone's counting. And a bunch of frozen ones. So I think what I might do is pull this apart, see if, just make sure they're not, completely frozen, clean out some of the gunk, see if I can get this kind of reassembled and in good shape. I can make one of these, although it's got a part number right there. I could probably just order a new one. So anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks.